Welcome you on behalf of the National Democratic Congress to this crucial moment of truth press conference. We've called you here over a very grave matter that has the potential to completely undermine the administration of justice in our dear country, Ghana. As you may be aware, since late 2021, the Akuffo Bawumia government has been persecuting the minority leader in parliament, Honorable Dr. Ato.F, over the purchase of some ambulances by the Ministry of Health under the erstwhile NDC Mahama government. As a law-abiding political party, we have restrained ourselves from commenting on this matter publicly. This is because we respect the principle that matters pending in court should not be commented on in a manner that prejudices the outcome. We therefore have no intention of doing so today. However, in the light of repeated falsehood, deliberate misrepresentation, and distortions churned out by the Attorney General Godfrey Odame and the MPP propagandists, we are compelled to correct certain misconceptions in the public domain about the said ambulances transaction and situate this discussion in its proper context. This is without prejudice to any matters pending before the courts in this case. Every reasonable person would agree that it will be irresponsible of us to sit aloof and allow deliberate falsehood to be peddled about us without putting out the truth. For the avoidance of doubt, the specific claim that the Attorney General has based his persecution of the minority leader on is that, in the Attorney General's view, there has been financial loss to the state because he, as Deputy Minister of Finance, wrote letters to the Bank of Ghana requesting the bank to set up letters of credit in favor of Big C Trading Company of Dubai, suppliers of the ambulances in question, without authorization from his then boss and Finance Minister, Honorable Sekwe. This is publicly available information captured in the records of the High Court, Accra. So this one has been said, though I'm only repeating it. It is also a matter of public record that Honorable Sekwe has appeared before the trial court and stated unequivocally under oath that he gave express authorization to his Deputy Minister of Finance, Honorable Ato.F, to write the said letters to the Bank of Ghana for letters of credit to be established in respect of the ambulances transaction. You say he did it without authorization. The man who should give the authorization has come and say, yes, I authorize him to go and do it. Palava no finish. This authorization is evidenced by the seal of the Ministry of Finance. In case Sekwe was lying, there's a seal of the Ministry of Finance. It's apparent on the face of the letter written by Honorable Ato.F. It is instructive to note that the establishment of the letters of credit was done on the advice of the Attorney General then. That failure to do so was going to make it difficult for the government of Ghana to defend any suit brought by Big C Trading for breach of contract. Godfrey Odame and hordes of MPP propagandists also continue to falsely claim that the NDC government brought in ordinary vans, maybe in our language, trotros, purporting to be ambulances without medical equipment under the said transaction. We want to state emphatically that the first set of 30 ambulances supplied under the transaction arrived in the country with the necessary fittings in them sometime in the year 2015. So at this stage, on the screen are pictures of the exterior and interior of the ambulances as they arrived in the country. The empty trotros. These are the interior pictures of the empty trotros. It is clear from these pictures that the ambulances that were procured were not empty vans as claimed by dishonest Godfrey Odame and the MPP. I'm always ashamed because this is my brother from the same Wenchi district. In addition, a container load of medical equipment to be installed in these ambulances were shipped by Big C and arrived in the country around the end of 2016. Sadly, this medical equipment have been sitting at the Tema port for the last 8 years because this government, specifically the Minister of Health, which is the consignee, has refused to clear them just so they can falsely claim that there were no equipment. Because you want to prosecute somebody and jail him. Once again, we have projected on the screen a copy of the bill of lading dated 8th October 2016. There it is, covering this shipment. As can be seen, this container has 30 sets of medical equipment and defibrillators for installation, as well as spare parts for the 30 ambulances. Dr. Manibama, is that defibrillators? Or yes. Is that the correct pronunciation? Okay. You've seen the bill of lading. The bill of lading. When you ship, they prepare these documents and then send it to the consignee. So public money used to procure all these things have been sent to the Minister of Health. He has refused to clear them, just so that they can prove that there was no equipment. All that was required for this government to do was to clear the medical equipment from the ports and give engineers of Big C access to the ambulances which have been parked at the Air Force Base in Accra to install them, train personnel of the Ghana Ambulance Service to use them, and then formally take possession of the said ambulances. It therefore makes no sense that after refusing to do this simple task and allowing the ambulances to deteriorate for 8 years, my brother Godfrey Odame will turn around to persecute Honorable Ato.F for allegedly causing financial loss to the state when the loss has been clearly occasioned by the deliberate negligence of the government he represents. We firmly believe that the decision to take the minority leader and some others to court over this matter was born out of malicious, sinister, and wicked desire to silence him through unjust imprisonment, nothing more, nothing less. As we publicly stated from the very onset of this case, the timing and circumstances of this so-called prosecution shows that it was instituted mainly to intimidate and silence the then-ranking member of Finance, now minority leader, soon to become majority leader, following his vehement opposition to the government's 2022 budget, the e-levy, and the general economic mismanagement by the Akuffo Bawumia government. This is the very embodiment of political witch hunt and persecution. But you see, he was a minority spokesperson on finance. And he was doing well. So as they were persecuting him, we kept promoting him because we thought he was doing very well for this country. Having set out the factual background of this whole matter, I will now proceed to address certain grave matters that have emerged from the ongoing trial, which border on professional misconduct and crime on the part of the Attorney General, Godfrey Odame. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, last Thursday, 23rd March 2024, the third accused person in this case, Richard Jakpa, took the stand to be cross-examined by counsel for Dr. Ato.F. During this cross-examination, Attorney General Godfrey Odame shot up from his seat to accuse Mr. Richard Jakpa of defending Ato.F rather than himself. In response to the Attorney General's accusation, Mr. Jakpa, who was testifying under oath and felt attacked without provocation, dropped a bombshell that Godfrey Odame, the Attorney General, has been having clandestine meetings and telephone conversations with him at odd hours to persuade him to falsely testify against the minority leader, Dr. Ato.F, so that the prosecution can secure a conviction. So, Minister of Justice, you are not interested in justice. You are interested in just jailing somebody. You are supposed to be the person who will be delivering justice to your countrymen. You have now become the torchbearer of injustice because of political interest. This testimony by Mr. Jakpa was given to the court under oath and captured by the court's record. At last Thursday's hearing, The Attorney General, who was personally present, in the court, could not object to this damning evidence of Mr. Jakpa. He did not deny calling and meeting Jakpa at odd hours. Neither did he deny Jakpa's claim that he had been impressing on him to skew his testimony in a matter that will allow the state to secure a conviction against the minority leader. You have been accused of something and you are sitting there. You decide that the way to respond is through a press statement where you could have defended yourself there. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, in the period following these startling revelations, the NDC has obtained compelling evidence which support Mr. Jakpa's claim that the Attorney General indeed has engaged him on countless occasions and urged him to falsify, underline, his testimony to aid the case of Attorney General against Dr. Ato.F. This evidence points to a devious, diabolic, and dangerous plan by the Attorney General to secure conviction against Minority Leader Dr. Ato.F. at all costs, contrary to what the third accused knows and believes to be the truth. We have in our possession a series of recordings in which the Attorney General, Odame, is clearly heard goading, urging, impressing upon, and actually coaching Mr. Jakpa to bear false testimony against the minority leader, Dr. Ato.F. All of this desperate subordination by Mr. Odame is just because he is hell-bent on securing the incarceration of the minority leader unjustly. Ladies and gentlemen, the first of these recordings is a 16-minute, 5-second telephone conversation between Odame and Richard Jakpa, the third accused person, held on the morning meaning 12 minutes after 7 a.m. of 9th April 2024, a day that the third accused, Richard Jakpa, was preparing to go to court to continue his testimony. In this recording, which I will play shortly, which we will play to your hearing and share with you shortly, Odame, the Attorney General, is clearly heard doing the following. I want to prepare your mind so that when you are listening to the voice, you can understand what it is. In this recording, if you pay attention, you see that Odame is heard impressing upon Richard Jakpa, the third accused, to skew his answers and testimony to support the petition's case, the prosecution's case, I beg your pardon. This was despite Mr. Jakpa's insistence that the line the Attorney General wanted him to toe was dishonest, untenable, and that his conscience could not allow him to do so. The now dishonorable Attorney General then dangled the assurance that Richard Jakpa's acceptance to testify the Attorney General's way was not going to get him into any difficulty. Tell a lie and we will set you free. That was the agenda. If you tell a lie and we nail our enemy, not the state's enemy, but our enemy, we will set you free. And he says, no, my conscience doesn't allow me to do that. Conspiracy against an accused person. In the recording under reference, Richard Jakpa reveals that Godfrey Odame had met him on several occasions at the residence of a Supreme Court judge, sitting Supreme Court judge, to impress upon him to testify in a manner that the prosecution wants in order to fix and wrongly jail the minority leader, Dr. Ato.F. Godfrey Odame did not refuse this statement by Richard Jakpa, except to caution him that they were speaking on phone and that he was not sure if anyone was recording their conversation. It's all contained in that tape. Also, Godfrey Odame is heard in the recording urging and coaching Richard Jakpa, albeit with strong protests from Mr. Jakpa, to provide answers that Jakpa knows to be false to the court. There is the issue of the professional misconduct too. The audio recording provides incontrovertible evidence of professional misconduct on the part of Godfrey Odame as a lawyer and a prosecutor. By talking to a represented person in an ongoing trial on the blind side of the represented person's lawyer and urging the represented person to testify in a manner that aids the prosecution's case, Godfrey Odame violently violated the legal professional code of ethics rule 2020, LI 2423, in many ways. I'm not a lawyer, but this was passed in Parliament. I'm a parliamentarian. This gross professional misconduct on the part of no less a person than the Attorney General, who was the leader of the bar, bears a high responsibility to adhere to the rules of ethics of the legal profession, is reprehensible and totally unpardonable. The next one has to do with the fabrication of evidence to pervert the course of justice. Minister of Justice fabricating evidence to pervert the course of justice. It is instructive to note that in the audio recording, Godfrey Odame is heard persuading Mr. Jakpa not to end his testimony by a particular time to allow him to travel, Godfrey Odame, to travel. The dishonorable Attorney General is also heard persuading Mr. Jakpa to procure and submit a fake medical excuse duty to the court, which he was scheduled to testify before that morning. Attorney General and Minister of Justice. This was to enable Godfrey Odame travel abroad without missing Jakpa's testimony. Attorney General, you are asking somebody who is before court for what you claim to be one crime to go and commit another one. to come and deceive the court. By asking a witness to fabricate evidence to deceive a court, Godfrey Odame, the Attorney General, sought to undermine the judicial and justice administration process in this country. This conduct of Godfrey Odame constitutes the offense of perjury, which is a crime punishable under the laws of Ghana, specifically Section 213 and 214 of the Criminal and Other Offenses Act 1960, Act 29. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, I would at this stage invite you. You have been salivating for some time now, but I want to invite you to the content of this recording, after which I'll make some important observations. Let me allow you.
You pay only after the goods have been delivered, because that is also the contract, not so.
Yes, but then the financial instrument for the project is an irrevocable letter of credit. So
Good.
So that credit letter had already been sent.
Hold on, no problem. But in my view, that letter of area, the contract requires that you pay by letters of credit, not so.
Yes, in addition, we should establish it upon the front of the contract. So already you have paid.
Upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance.
Yes. Upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance, since there was no advance mobilization, advance payment, that LC was a security that you have to establish ahead.
No problem. It's on the contract for every 50 ambulance. It is the contract for every 50 ambulance.
Pardon?
It is the contract for. I'm saying upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance.
Yes.
It is the contract for the every 50 ambulance.
The contract is for 200 ambulances in tranches of 50.
Good. Hold on. So that contract for 50 ambulance is different from this one.
No. It is, the contract is one contract for 200 ambulances, which has been broken down within the contract for every you establish LC for every 50 tranche. So you have 4 LCs for the 200 ambulances.
No, that part I disagree with you. But if you look at the terms of the contract, it's quite clear. And it should not be difficult for you to accept, because really it doesn't put you in any problem at all. That does not put you into any difficulty. And you know the Minister of Health, the Minister of Finance. So for me, if you accept that, then it doesn't put you in any difficulty.
See, the problem I have in accepting that for you is accepting that for you is that in there are letters that confirm that both from.
You see, the witness is telling you what the situation is, what the true facts are. And you say he should testify in a certain particular way. And that it won't create any difficulty for him. He will go free and somebody else will be jailed for dishonesty. And the witness keeps insisting that it is against his conscience, he cannot do what you want done. Continue. Continue.
Government and from our principal. That is for every 50 ambulances. That confirms that. And I'll be tendering those letters in. So I cannot go against what the letters say and the contracts say, because I was the agent at that time. Jakpa business was the agent.
Hold on. LC's on site. Payment shall be in euros. First, we said there shall be no advance payment.
Yes.
What does advance payment mean?
What it means is that you are not the supplier was not going to be paid any cash, any money for him to use in procuring all the accessories and everything to manufacture. So the manufacturer will use his own money to buy the ambulance vans, all the accessories from across the globe, with the security from government being the LC. And the LC has conditions precedent.
Hold on. Bridget,
Yeah.
Does advance payment not mean paying in advance of the delivery of the goods?
They said no advance payment.
Yes, advance payment means that you are paying before the goods are delivered to you.
No, they said no advance payment. Not that there's advance payment. Yes. No advance. Mean that you will not pay.
Yes, until the goods are delivered to you. Also.
Yes.
Yeah, so until the goods are delivered, you don't pay at all.
You don't pay.
Also. So, and then also it goes ahead to say that payment shall be in a free manner. LCs on site of goods. In fact, what is even LC on site of goods? What does it mean?
What LC on site of goods means is that when you ship the documents, when you ship the goods, when you ship the goods from your port of origin, the bill of lading of the goods is what
so
you use as
LC on site of goods means means when the goods have been shipped.
They have been shipped.
Not
and then
the goods have been delivered in Ghana.
No, when the goods have been shipped. Because you have gone to do pre-shipment. So what I'm trying to explain is that so you use the bill of lading. You use a bill of lading. You use a bill of lading.
You establish the LCs after.
Pause. You see the problem of Godfrey Dame. He doesn't understand anything about these international payments at all. And he wants the witness to accept his ignorance and then go to court to make a statement that will expose the witness as also as ignorant as Godfrey Dame. Because you see, what you call a letter of credit is just some guarantee. You sign an agreement with somebody that I'll supply these ambulances. But the person must also be secure that when he supplies the ambulances, there will be payment. So you sign a document that, look, the moment you are able to buy your equipment yourself and you ship them, and you bring the bill of lading to me for me to satisfy myself that the equipment had been shipped and that this is the evidence that I will be receiving them on this date, then I can also authorize the bank to pay you what has been agreed upon. Because you can't go to the sea and reclaim the things back. You see? So that's all. So a letter of credit does not give you money until I eventually tell them to pay because I have received the items. So you are saying that somebody signed a letter of credit, and so the nation has lost money. And your government took over. If you realize that the things have not been received, why would you authorize payment? So this is simple, but the problem the problem is ignorance. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Supplement inspection.
No. No, the LC is established as soon as you sign the contract. You establish the LC, and that becomes the security comfort for the supplier to invest his money.
It says LCs on site of goods are returned upon the signing of the contract.
Yes.
For every 50 ambulances.
Yes.
Yes. Which contract is this? It's not a contract for every 50 ambulances. So under this main contract, this was like the main contract.
The main contract and LC for every 50 of the 200. So the contract is not saying that government should establish one LC, which is 15.8 million euros for the whole 200 at a go. No. Government has a bulk contract of 15.8 million euros. Now, this contract will become, the ambulance will be coming in tranches of 50 ambulances. So you establish your LC for the 50. When that 50 have been delivered, and everything sorted out and handed over, another LC is established for another subsequent 50 until you finish all the 200. That is what the contract says. So the LC that was established.
Even then, hold on. I don't agree with your explanation. But even then, this explanation, that's not what happened in this case.
Okay, what happened?
Yeah, that's not what happened. Yes, because the LC was established even before pre-shipment inspection.
Yes.
Also,
yes.
There was no pre-shipment inspection. So, so it means there was no basis for the LC to be established in the first place.
No.
That's really not your problem anyway.
Right, that place, in that particular place, you are getting it wrong. You may have patience for me to explain to you.
No.
You are getting it wrong there because when you establish LC, the LC had conditions precedent for it to be honored. And the condition precedent states that you can only cash the LC when you present shipping documents, which is bill of lading, to the Ghana International Bank of the buyer before the LC can be honored. So even though the LC was established upon the signing of the contract, was supposed to be established upon the signing of the contract, it cannot be cashed or honored. It becomes a form of security for the supplier to invest his own money. And when he ships the ambulances, he can then send a bill of lading to your bankers, to then honor the LC, because that is a condition precedent.
But in any case, in this case, even the LC was actually cashed. Everything. That payment was actually made before the goods were shipped.
No.
The goods got to Ghana.
No.
Oh yeah.
He couldn't have the supplier. There is no way under the sun he could have cashed the LC before the shipping document, which were condition precedent, was presented to Ghana International Bank. Even when he presented the documents to Ghana International Bank refused to honor the LC, raising issues of discrepancy, which came back to Bank of Ghana, which later went to the Ministry of Health, and then Animana authorized Bank of Ghana through Ministry of Finance to pay because they had sorted out the discrepancies with Big C. That time, around this time, or the ambulances had already arrived in Ghana. You are not privy to this one, I'm telling you.
In my view, if we agree to this theory, it's so simple, the theory of the case.
Not agree to the way you want to go, the way you want to go about it.
So,
yes, if you agree to this deal, where the witness agrees with Godfred Odame the way he wants to go about the case, then the witness, will have no case. There will be no difficulty for him. So listen to that part there.
I decided not to say it because I want to help the AG make his case. And I asked myself, what is my interest in it?
I'm not asking you to really help me. I'm just going by it. So anyway, so that's fine. So this one was even just by the way.
I hope you get my difficulty. It's because I'm innocent and I'm going through ordeal. So I'm looking at another person also going to go through ordeal, and through me, because I know the truth and I decided not to say it. About question sentence. If I go by that way, frankly speaking, I'll be dishonest, because I know that is not how it's supposed to be about it and how you want me to go about my answering question sentence. That time, around this time, or the ambulances had already arrived in Ghana. You are not privy to this one, I'm telling you.
In my view, if we agree to this theory, it's so simple, the theory of the case.
Not agree to the way you want to go, the way you want to go about it.
So let's agree. Let's describe it that way. Let's describe it that way. Do you want to go about it?
Okay,
you
fine.
agree to it this way. For me, it makes it simple.
Yes, it will make
it doesn't also involve. It doesn't involve any difficulty for you.
Yes, I agree. I understand your point.
When you say there's no advancement, yes. When you say there's no advancement, ordinarily meaning in Ghana that you don't pay until you get your goods. Now, the contract here, even the clear terms, unless maybe you guys did not draft the contract, it says LCs on site of goods shall be established upon the signing of the contract for every future.
No, the contract was drafted by government. It was done by government.
Oh, yes.
And it was an AG department perused the contract and approved the contract for government.
It is not a problem whether they approve it. Every contract is actually approved before later when they are implementing it, then problems.
You see, what the difficulty I have with your position is that, you see, frankly speaking, fine, as you are saying, if I agree to your position, how you want to go about it, and how you want me to go about my answering questions and things, if I go by that way, frankly speaking, I'll be dishonest. Because I know that is not how it's supposed to be.
You heard him. This is the facts, but you want me to go about it your way. And I feel that if I go about it your way, I'll be dishonest. Continue.
Question sentence. If I go by that way, frankly speaking, I'll be dishonest. Because I know that is not how it's supposed to be. And I'll be dishonest, and I'll be dishonest in such a way that I'll be assisting for someone I know is completely innocent about this. For example, Ato.F, to be jailed because I knew something was wrong, was not the way, and I decided to keep quiet and to answer the question in a way that will make your case better for you to jail him. I'll be battling with my conscience. That is the problem I'm having. Anytime you bring up this issue with Unikulende, when I went to Unikulende's place, anytime you bring this issue, that is my problem I'm having. Because me, for example, that is the problem I'm having. Anytime you bring up this issue, me to go about my answering questions and things. If I go by that way, frankly speaking, I'll be dishonest. Because I know that is not how it's supposed to be. And I'll be dishonest, and I'll be dishonest in such a way that I'll be assisting for someone I know is completely innocent about this. For example, Ato.F, to be jailed because I knew something was wrong, was not the way, and I decided to keep quiet and to answer the question in a way that will make your case better for you to jail him. I'll be battling with my conscience. That is the problem I'm having. Anytime you bring up this issue with Unikulende, when I went to Unikulende's place, anytime you bring this issue, that is my problem I'm having. Because me, for example, I am in this case because I'm innocent and I'm going through ordeal. So I'm looking at another person also going to go through ordeal and through me because I know the truth and I decide not to say it because I want to help the AG make his case. And I ask myself, what is my interest in it?
I'm not asking you to really help me. I'm just going by it. Anyway, so that's fine. So this one was even just by the way.
I hope you get my difficulty.
It's on the phone. I don't even know that.
Oh no. Don't worry about that one. My issue I'm just oh no. You and I will be meeting.
Please. Order. Please, let's listen to the tape, please. I beg you.
My issue I'm talking about. Oh no. You and I will be meeting. You will be meeting me at my cousin's place, and you've been bringing this issue up several times. And I keep telling you that I can't do that because it doesn't sit well with me.
This is the man who says he has never met the witness. Continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for every. So when you see the hand for every 50 ambulance, means that it's not only the 50.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
For every, it means that it is not only 50.
All right.
Mean that there are a lot of 50s that will be following. So that is what I was trying to explain to you. So frankly speaking, the LC that was established was as a security for the supplier to invest his own money since there's no advance.
Yes, it is the same that was used to pay. Because LC was the means of payment and the agreement.
Yes. When the conditions precedents are met.
Which is what? That he has some documents.
That he has the bill of ladings, the ambulance have been shipped, and the bill of ladings are presented. That is when you can catch the LC. So until you ship the ambulances, you can't catch the ambulance. You can't catch the LC.
It was that in this case also.
Yes, in this case, yes. When he shipped the ambulances, he then presented their documents to Ghana International Bank, and then Ghana International Bank refused to honor the LC and raised issues of discrepancies, which was later cleared by Animana at the Ministry of Health for payment to proceed. And that is how he was paid.
Yes.
So, if frankly speaking, if there's somebody who authorized this payment to go on, even though in Ghana International Bank raised issues of discrepancies, it's Animana. He was authorizing those payments.
But you recall when you heard the Bank of Ghana officials and the Minister of officials and even Tepe say that no payment can go on except with Minister of Finance authorization. There's no way Minister of Health will authorize. In fact, Minister of Health actually even their letter, they said no, they should go ahead and produce ambulances.
For that letter that Aito wrote that they should suspend production and those things was contrary to the terms of the contract. And that letter went to the office, the AG's office, and the AG debunked that letter and wrote his legal opinion and told her that they should proceed. So AG, that letter had been destroyed by your department, by your ministry. So that letter is of no value. It is the AG's legal opinion that overrode that letter. And Ministry of Finance had to implement the AG's opinion.
Yeah, and by the AG's legal opinion, the terms of contract were honored.
Yes.
Or the terms of contract were breached.
And because they were already breached, and the AG wanted them to honor it. So that Aito's letter that you want to rely on is of no value.
They honor it. Honor the terms of contract.
The ministry. Yeah, they did. They still didn't honor some part of the contract. They honored the LC part, but when it came to the pre-shipment inspection, they refused to honor that particular part.
Okay.
So they waived their right to go and inspect, and then they turn around and blame people for you not going to inspect to rectify any manufacturing defect that the pre-shipment inspection was meant to kill. So Aito, through her negligence and refusal to implement the pre-shipment inspection, created this problem. That's what I was trying to head.
So the reason for that is that's my timetable for the rest of the.
That means that you are not going to be around.
So, and then even next week, the whole of next week, I'll not be around. If there's a way of, if you will not even finishing next week, I would appreciate.
I'll not finish next week. I don't think I'll be able to finish because the documents are many. So you will surely go and come and meet me.
No,
but that will also depend upon the judge's behavior.
You can bring one medical excuse next week.
Okay. Okay, fine. If you bring a medical excuse next week.
I said you. How can I bring a medical excuse?
No, you are saying that I should bring a medical excuse next week.
You can if you want.
But brother, you want this woman to issue bench warrant for me again?
Right. Anyway.